Today, 15th of September 2014, today being Monday, I'm out here in this community here off the road, Canaan, on the east bank of the Amara. We visited this community because we receive a lot of conflicting reports about how development is happening in this particular area, Canaan. This dam I'm standing on, it was constructed like about 24 years ago. 24 years ago, it was constructed by a husband and wife that returned to Guyana to enjoy this luscious beauty and richness of Guyana. A remigrant that is, her name is Miss Adams, from what I was told. Miss Adams, with her husband, came here from England, and they got this piece of land at the back here, a few miles from the public road, from their brother, I understand, who acquired that land from a lady named Miss Khan. Now, Miss Khan was a woman that cultivated large amount of sugarcane, and Miss Khan had this dam that I'm standing on. It was a dam, a very narrow dam, about 2 feet in width, and Miss Khan had to move this cane. This road was named Farm to Market Dam, originally by Miss Khan. And how Miss Khan got the cane out? You see, on my left side, on my right side here, there is a canal, and the punt used to pull the cane out and carry them out where it could be picked up with the tractors and things of that nature. So Miss Adams, now the new owner of a part of this land, way back here, Canaan land, set up this home and is living here for the past 22 years. Because this was a very narrow dam called Khan Farm to Market Dam, Miss Adams and her husband spent a large sum of money to fill this dam and make it a road. Millions of dollars, I understand, was spent to make what I'm standing here a road, so Miss Adams and her husband could take the stuff all the way from the public road into this jungle. That is material, building material, and when the home was finished, the furniture, all that which came from the UK. Container, 2-3 containers. The containers couldn't drive in, they had to hire trucks to come in. So as a result, this current road I'm standing on is named or nicknamed after Miss Adam. Adam Road, people will call it in this community Adams Road. So after those many years of a one-woman sacrifice to come here and live in this jungle, a lot of people saw the potential of this area. And I understand one Mr. Premlal also saw the potential of this area, and he approached the government to have a zoo constructed in this very community that I'm in, Canaan. And the approval apparently was granted. As a result, Mr. Premlal setting up there a nice area, which is a zoo. We need that in Guyana. When you go to the Bronx, one of the best zoo in the world, very well constructed, and the animals are free to roam without interfering with the spectators and those that go in and view. We need such things in Guyana. So Mr. Premlal is doing a wonderful job. But the fear is that Mr. Premlal believes this dam here is his. So when he bought the land, apparently he bought the dam. So the fear is that other land users, occupiers who are occupying this land for housing purpose or business purpose, they fear that they wouldn't have access to this dam that I'm standing. And you know, let us go to what is happening in Georgetown. If you purchase a house at the back and there is a house in front and there's a passageway, the right of way is given to the house at the back. Okay, the house in front can't get the right of way because how the people at the back gonna get out? But the dam is in dispute. The people at the back need access to the dam. So I hope the government is looking into this. The dam needs to be fixed. This woman here, senior citizen now, I understand, over 72 years, have many times spent money to maintain this dam. maintain it because it's the only way for her to get in and out of her own home. So she had to maintain it. Now, why government is not maintaining this? I understand that the Honorable Minister Robeson was approached, and he said, Minister Robeson said he's going to try to do something on this road, which is good. Congratulate the Minister Robeson, a very good man. Okay? At times he behaved outrageous, and maybe because he have reasons to. But in all, he's a very good man. He don't like to see people do wrong things. It upset him. As a result, he used his big hammer. You know, his hammer. And Mrs. D.A. Sherman nicknamed him the man with the hammer. Right? So, Mr. Ben, Minister, Public Works, indicated to, I think, a resident in this area here, I understand that he will do some work on this dam. But who he will do it for? If a man is claiming that this dam is his. So I'm asking Mr. Ben to be careful how he spends taxpayers' money. Please don't do this dam for Premlal only. It has to be done for the community. Now, this area is allotted like this, from north to south. Okay? So I understand if person living in the back here, they will have to have a road leading that way and not this way. But no road is being constructed heading to the north. So I need Mr. Robeson then to survey, do a proper survey, work with the Lands and Surveys Commission, work with Ministry of Housing, because this area now going to be populated with houses shortly. So do a proper survey and let people know which is their ingress and egress, the way in and out of the community, the way in and out of the home. Do a proper study before they spend taxpayers' money to do this dam. So I have an individual here who have an interest and actually own a large piece of this chunk of land. And his name is George Correa. So, George, tell us here on national television, I know you're Guyanese by birth, you migrated to the United States, and you returned here to invest. I understand you expend large sums of your saving, your pension that you worked many years in the United States for. You saw this beautiful piece of land in Canaan here, and the east bank of Delaware. You want to invest your hard-earned money, but you're facing some challenges. Tell me about this investment, what you plan to do here, and the challenges that you face in developing this plot of land way back in the backlands.
Well, JP, let me give you a little history. Myself and my two brothers purchased a lot of land in the back here, 3 cane field. And the reason why we purchased it, because we had wanted to go into a large business, cattle and other things that to develop this country, because that was the call of the late President, Mr. Bardum, agriculture and other necessary things. But when we get to purchase this land, there was a woman by the name of Miss Can, who had all this land over this side here was cane field. And the front was also cane with a lot of orange citrus fruits and everything else in. She was very old, and according to the saying goes, Forrest Barnum brought a lot of cane from Cuba and take about several fields from the woman and put his cane down. And she get angry and start to sell out, so we bought 3 fields. Since then, Miss can take what she want and leave. Miss Adams came from England, bought the back. And yes, this dam was a narrow piece of mud road, which at one time or the other was told to us that this dam was called the Market Street Road, whatever it is, which was built by Miss Can. And if you look at the canal, even those canal over there was dug out and built by Miss Can to move the cane along the way to Diamond or wherever. Over there was also owned by private owners. So when we purchased this place, we had a hard time to get in and get out, but Miss Adams, had put all these lantern posts in. She had bulldozed this whole dam. She has spent millions of pounds to accomplish this. Do you think that we had a partner that we would have worked together for the interest of all of us and the country? All that we keep doing, paying our tax, thieves attacking us, doing all kind of things. I get fed up and say you cannot rob land. But Miss Adams and her husband protect this dam. They put loom, they put sand. They used to bulldoze this land every 6 months and keep it. This dam now, in honor of the man and his wife, the villagers decided to call it Adams Dam. which is fair. But suddenly, I get a call in New York that Mr. Premlal, who's going to be opening a zoo, as is alleged, I don't know, and I'm congratulating to the man, and suddenly he get a brainwave, or maybe some ministers, maybe you tell him the land, I don't know where he get his land from. I would like him to show me the same paper that the Jews got in Israel, if this land was given to him, because this is Canaan. And I love the Bible story, Mr. Lal here. I have no quarrel with him. Show us how you come to own this land when we live in the back. Investing in the back, and we got to go in and come out.
I ask you, what is the difficulty? How long you acquired this land and how much land?
Since 1989, 3 fields, approximately 70 or 80 acres of land.
That's a lot of land. Okay.
All this canal I dug it the other day, about a year ago, you see, full of grass, because the main entrance of the government, the canals then black up, the cocoa trench blacked up. When the rain fall, the cocoa water will come over and flood me several times.
Okay, so these are the difficulties.
These are the difficulties.
I understand people want to farm on this land. They want to plant cash crop, but they can't plant because of drainage issue.
The cocoa trench always blacked up and ride your water into your land.
What you did in terms of inquiries to the NDC, Craig NDC, in relation to access of this road?
Well, I went there several times because a man in Reka was putting a big gate in front. And they say he cannot do it because this is ingress and egress in 1992, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, all the way up to 2010. But you know, I'm a traveling man. And suddenly now, I get a call.
That man could not put the gate there.
He would have to pull it down.
The NDC
they reject it.
Approve it.
Right? They reject it. And suddenly I get a call a few weeks ago that Mr. Premlal, our neighbor, is putting a gate there, and he says he owned the dam. Now, I don't care whether you put a water tank, but don't tell me you own the dam when the tank is on, because you're locking me out. Because we intend to build here, and you cannot own a dam to lock off access. I am not saying Mr. Premlal is doing that, but I see the 2 object posts over there, one on one side and one on the left-hand side. I want to know if we will have to turn Samson to push it down. So we had Samson Falls Burnham. We don't know if we have Ramatar, now it's Goliath. So we wanted to know. Now, I have nothing against who ruled this country, but I'm a Guyanese and this is my birthright. That's my message here now. They will got to clean these canals so these water can drain out, and for the woman at the back, run these posts, these lantern posts, pay to run all these wires, and got to pay electricity to GPL or whoever is totally unfair, and then we are paying our tax. What are we paying for? This government is
Yes, I understand from speaking to residents who do not want to identify themselves because they're fearful of victimization. They said Ms. Adams paid large sums of money to plant each and every one of these vulnerable posts.
Over 75.
That to pay GPL workers. That to pay for the pole. That to pay for the planting in the pole. That to pay for the wire. That to pay for the transformer.
And had to pay extra days to everybody.
They will have to pay the normal electricity bill without no concession. Now, because of this infrastructure, persons will come into this community and benefit. Already, persons are benefiting from this dam that Ms. Adams spent her earnings or pension money on to build this dam, maintain this dam. Persons are now benefiting from these poles you've seen behind me because they will get electricity. So Mr. Karaya here, George Karaya, will also benefit from the hard work and sweat of 2 loving people, Ms. Adams, Mrs. Adams, all the way from the UK, who saw Guyana as being the retirement home and decided to come into the jungle and build this house. So here we are here in a land, farmland. George Karaya and many others have land behind me here. They want to occupy this land. They have problem with ingress and egress, in and out, okay? So they have problem with drainage. So they have many problems. They want infrastructure in this area. So this is what they're asking for. This is why they invited me. This is why George come all the way from United States to speak to me in relation that he would have some assistance. So this program, Voice of the People, is even helping people, Guyanese living abroad. And George is one of them. George maybe will receive help via this program. So we are asking the relevant authority to do whatever they can to make the lives of persons that want to come into this part of Guyana and develop it for the benefit of themselves and their family and the Guyanese as a whole. As I said, a zoo will be constructed in this community. It will benefit everyone. Okay, it's good for tourism, but we need to settle the dispute of this dam or create a next dam, a next road. So this is what we're asking for, development. You know, the Restaurant Party, we plan to get into office. We need your support. When there's any deal by the executive, and if I'm the executive, and I'm going to put an amount, once it exceeds so much hectares, like say about 20 hectares, it will have to go to the National Assembly for their sanction. Okay? They must approve. National Assembly must know what is happening, because the next government is from in the National Assembly. So, and they are the representatives of the people. Article 9 speaks about sovereignty belongs to the people who exercise through their representative. That's speaking about the parliamentary representative and representative in local democratic organs, meaning RDC, NDC, village council. That is how the constitution was meant to operate. So, as the president to be in waiting, that is some of the policies. Okay? We will not sell this country out, or we will not do development one-sided. The nation must know what is being done to their land. So this is what we focus in on. So, George, you want to add anything?
Yes, I want to say this clear. First, they have to clean the Coca Trench and dig it deep enough to drain the water from this whole area, because soon the rain fall, everything floods. So you cannot produce nothing here unless the Coca Trench is clear. Secondly, they cannot sell land dams to people and knowing that there are people at the back. And there's a lot of other people got sawmill and other things that are damaging the road that Miss Adams and her husband built. It is totally unfair, JFAP. So I am calling upon this government to do the right thing for this nation. I have nothing against Mr. Premlal. He's an investor. We love investors.
And we don't know if it's state or private, but this dam here is a public dam.
This dam supposed to lead you to the...
So whoever is in charge, if this was private land or state lands, we don't know. But we know for a fact that this government allow people to even take over cemetery.
Coca Cemetery, Petersall, between Petersall and Baggerstown. There's a Coca Trench full up with business. You got one up in Providence. Then a cemetery in Baggerstown where another building put down. Then going down the east coast, a big carpool or something around there in a cemetery. We have no respect for even the dead people.
We don't know if the government, this PAPC government will,
so many wrong things
will maybe put in that land the coffee monument is on, if they're going to put it for sale. As I know, as I understand, that Muhammad Ali, the Minister of Trade, Tourism and Housing, Muhammad Ali is constructing a fence to enclose that piece of land that coffee is on. And you know that land didn't clean for donkey years, but he wants to fence it. And I don't know what is his reason and his motive. You see what you saw what he did at the opposite the parliament, that piece of land that the I think the Bureau of Statistics was on. That land opposite the National Assembly. That land a garden was put there to beautify the place. It was meant for people to enjoy it. You know, Muhammad Ali fenced it and he closed the gate. So what's going to happen with coffee? Is a fear. I have a fear that they might want to enclose the piece of land by coffee there and people cannot visit it. Or you don't know if they want to sell it. Well, what we see in here, this sign, this mark here, private property, is where George Correa land starts, and it will end like about a quarter mile down this road here. So, George, this is your land, you're saying?
From here, go back.
From here, go back. This
3 fields.
3 fields.
Yeah. About 70-something acres altogether.
2 acres.
Yeah.
Okay, and you could see, this is what
we have clean here.
This is what you're complaining about.
Yes, because this water carry around, the thing stagnant so the grass go back. All here we clean. We waste money. We waste hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Can't use this.
Because this government sees like they don't have vision. And those who they put, as they call them, square pegs in the wrong hole, they don't know what they're doing.
How many years now you have this land?
Since 1988 to now.
1988,
yes.
Very long time.
Myself and 2 brothers.
And you cannot develop it because of infrastructure problem.
Deficiency from the government.
That is both PNC and
PPP. So we cannot develop it. The main Coca Trench blacked up. Water is not going out.
And not only that, and you was listening to Burnham call.
Yes, all the time. We come back home to develop. And this is what we end up with: high blood pressure, lost of your money.
This car was made by Barnum. It was made by
Cherry and all
Height
them, Barrett, all of them,
and
Ramatar, all of them.
Cherry Jagan and many presidents of the past made this car for Guyanese to return. Now, this president here, Dan Ramatar, is making them the same call, but when the people arrive again to spend the money, that's the end of the story. They cannot progress, they cannot move forward because the government is not partnering with people that invest in the hard-earned money. They're not partnering with them to open up the lands, have proper access, ingress, egress into the land, proper drainage, because George wants to rear cattle, I understand. We want to do some planting, some farming and things of this nature. And many others that will be coming here have a purpose. Some of them want to build a housing scheme, so you need infrastructure. And we understand there's no running water here, no water that could be supplied because of the length of the distance the water have to go, don't have any pump. So powerful to push the water in there. So maybe they have to sink a well. This is things that they need to do now.
And maybe they sell the cocoa too, we don't know. Because they're selling everything.
Okay, so we're going to visit the NDC office, we're going to visit the cocoa, and we're going to see what is happening here. So when this program is aired, people, viewers, listeners will have a full grasp of the situation out here. Where I'm at here is supply, and this is supply cocoa. 1 month this cocoa here supply was non-operational. So in addition to poor drainage, we have a non-functioning cocoa, which the authority is aware of. And I understand what happened here is a wire rope probably must be snapped. As a result, the cocoa door cannot open. It's low tide right now. And if you notice here, the water stagnated here. People is complaining about they cannot plant at the back there because of poor drainage. You could see the condition of the approach for the cocoa. And you could imagine if this is the approach for the cocoa, what is happening in there? Those that farming in that community there supply backlands. What is happening there? So these are some of the information that we'll be receiving. But why I am visiting supply here on the east bank of the Awara? Because supply here, this is the cocoa that have to drain that same land at Canaan. The same land at Canaan there. This cocoa will have to take off that water. This is the same area, that road from Miss Adams and others that occupying land in the back there. A road will have to cut through here and come into supply here. So this is just here in supply to show you what needs to be done, and I discovered the situation here of this cocoa not functioning. So we asked the relevant authority to come in to supply here in the East Bank of the Awara, ensure that this cocoa maintenance work is carried out, so the cocoa could be functional, and of course the canal here
Okay, this is for years. If this cocoa was operated every 6 hours, this grass wouldn't have been so deep. It's about 9 feet depth in grass with roots. But if this cocoa was operating every 6 hours, 6 hours in, 6 hours, there would have never be all this amount of grass.
The water is very smelly, it's very stink, it's stagnant. So there's a fear here that this water could also breed a mosquito, and the residents in the backland and even up here, the public road, contract chikungunya. So if the water is being removed on a frequent basis, like every 6 hours, to flush out anything, any insect, any larva, whatever is breeding in those water out into the Danwar River. So the cocoa serve many purposes, not just cleansing, but it also prevents you from contracting things like presently chikungunya by keeping the water flowing on a regular basis. So we asked the relevant authority to come here, inspect this cocoa. From the reports we received is that a rope may be snapped, the winding gadget there, apparently it seized up, it needs to be maintained. We don't know exactly what happened, but from reports is that the wire rope snapped. I don't know which part of it snapped. As a result, over 1 month now, this cocoa was non-operational. So the shame and disgrace and the relevant authority to have this being done in a plain sight from the NDC office in Craig. And we're going to check the NDC office and we're going to report this matter to the NDC of Craig, which is responsible for this area. from observing this coca here supply, what you could notice is that one of the wheels is missing. So we don't know if that is causing the pressure on the rope, preventing it from opening easily. So as you know, you could see the pressure on this coca door. You could see the pressure there, the amount of water building up. And this is low tide. This water should be allowed to let releasing the pressure, putting pressure in the coca door right now, and for no reason, because look this side here, it's low tide. So the water needs to be released. The water is smelly. It indicated to me that the coca wasn't open for a number of days. I understand from residents maybe a month or so. So this is what I'm receiving information about, and this issue needs to be looked at by the relevant authorities.